Good day, welcome to Bible Camp's very first podcast. Today we had the exclusive interview with Amore van Veijeren. She's a first year student from Bethel, and let's hear what the story is. So, Amore, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am 20 years old. I am living in South Africa. Um, I really enjoy missionary work. Um, I've been on 2 missions trips in my life. Enjoy it a lot. I'm a very family person. Love my family with everything.
One ministry.
Since I was a little kid, I knew I was going to go into full time ministry, and it was the only thing that was really on my heart. Loved going to church. Loved, yes. I don't know. There was one point in my life that I was thinking about going into the medic field, and I was talking to God about it, and that I just felt that he wanted me to go into ministry. My whole life, I've been very intent about listening to the Holy Spirit and listening to God and what He tells me to do. So that's my relationship with the Lord. So whenever I have to make a decision, I talk to Him about it. So ever since I was little, I was talking to Him about what I was going to do with my life. So in our church, we listen to a lot of like worship music from Bethel. We listen to teachings from Bethel. So ever since I was little, I was introduced to Bethel. So yes, and I grew up with. I knew about their ministry school. So my parents always talked to me about it. Uncles talked to me about it, and I just felt at peace whenever I thought about doing that when I grew up. So like I was 12, 13 years old when I went to Mozambique on a missions trip with my family. And there, people have talked to me about Bethel and prayed and prophesied over me of going there. So it was on my mind the whole time, like going into ministry, going to Bethel, doing the ministry school. So there really was no other option on my mind than going there. Wow. So yes, I love doing work for the Lord. It doesn't feel like work to me. It just feels like I am serving in His kingdom.
So, what's the Lord currently doing in your life?
Well, I have just finished my first year at BSSM, and before that, I finished high school. So straight out of high school, I felt like God was telling me like apply and do first year. And everyone else in my family was like, "You've never even worked. You never thought about studying something else." And there was a lot of other people that thought that I was like crazy going out of the country, going to America and doing first year, not even having any work experience or anything else. But I felt I did hear what they were saying, but also I really felt like God wanted to do this in my life, and there was something that I had to learn from a young age. I was 19 when I went to do first year, and I really felt like God did something in my life, and at that age, going to another country, going to America, I feel like I grew up very quickly, and I had challenges in my first year. Everything wasn't easy all the time. Although I knew that God was with me, there was things that happened that was I had to learn, and I had to grow up very quickly. So it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy journey, but I do feel like God did something. And coming back, I was thinking about like what can I do? I just finished first year at ministry school, so what does God want to do in my life? And I knew when I came back to South Africa that I wanted to do second year. So that was on my mind, like fundraising, doing things from my side to actually bring in some funds. So we did fundraisings, we like baked things, sold it. So I did what I could do to bring in some funds. But even in that, God's hand was on it. So we did do the fundraisings, and people did like bless us and helped us to do things. So that helped. But I really feel like there is nothing else for me but to go and do second year. So when I came back, I did go to a hospital, and I started evangelizing in the hospital. My grandmother is going for chemo, so we had the opportunity to go to the hospital, and I made Bible verses and gave it to some people, prayed for people, and the people were like, it was incredible seeing how the people really accepted what we gave them, like the Bible verses, and seeing what it did in their hearts. So that was amazing. God really opened a door for me to go. So I went 3 times, I think, with my cousin to evangelize there, and we went into different wards in the hospital. We ministered to nurses and doctors even, and they were so open to receive what we had to give them, and what God did was incredible in that hospital. So I feel like that was something that I could bring back home. Because I would never, I never would have done that if I didn't go to BSSM. I was very open, and I loved doing work for the Lord, but still I had that fear of man that I had to overcome. Yeah. So I would never go out of myself into a hospital and start ministering to the people there. I never would have done that if I didn't go to first year. So that is a fear that I've overcome. So ministering to people and doing evangelism is easy now. It's not that hard because I know that God is with me.
The first year fundraiser, what did you do on your part? I remember some of the fundraisers we did have, and then the one of Easter we had last year where we baked the cupcakes and baked all the Christmas bunnies,
Yes.
or Easter bunnies, not Christmas bunnies. So it was fun times. I remember about the first year fundraisers we had, but now this is for the second year. Yeah. So what is different then now? So is it harder this time? Is it more complicated? What is the plan for this fundraiser? Or
So we just finished a movie night that we had at our church for a fundraiser. We finished that last weekend. That was very fun. That was a good fundraiser. From our side, we did we sold a lot of like stuff to eat there at the movie night. So that everything went good with that. So I feel like this time it's harder because we only had 3 months to do fundraisings, where the previous year we had more time. I think we had 5-6 months maybe to do the fundraisings. So we had more time to like gather up some finances for that for first year. But now we only have 3 months. So yes, I think that the timeline was the hardest part, I think. Because there's a lot of planning that goes into the fundraising. So you have like a month to plan for a fundraising, to sell the tickets or to spread the word of everything that's going to happen, and then also plan the things that you're going to sell to get in finances, and then also to work out if it's even worth doing it. So yes, we also did a Valentine's thing last year, which worked out very good. That's the hard part because we only have like 2 weeks now, and then I have to go back to second year. So I think we're gonna do like something small next week, also to gather up some finances. So I feel like that it was a timeline issue. We didn't have a lot of time this year to save up money. So because there's a lot of money that goes into actually getting there, getting to America, and also the tuition, which is a lot. So even if you do fundraisings in South Africa, you won't gather up enough money to, even if you do, like if you did do fundraisings every week, like since I came back 3 months, you wouldn't have enough money saved up to do a lot. So
there isn't any discount for your less fortunate countries or anything like that?
No.
Oh, then. About the first year, I remember this one time you told me when you were in your evangelism trip, you actually saved a girl that was about to go get abortion.
Yeah.
So tell me more about that story, actually. I really like that story.
So we were on a mission trip in Seattle. It was my first mission trip, like actually in America. So that was an amazing first year or experience for me. The mission trip, it was a highlight. So we went to a church. It was one of the last nights that we had on the missions trip, and we went to a church. So there was this girl standing, and we were praying. Everyone was praying for people that needed prayer, and I saw this guy praying for her, and I don't know, for some reason she was highlighted to me. So I went over, and the guy looked at me a little weird, and I was like, no, what's wrong? Is everything okay? And he's like, yeah, everything is okay. And it actually came out after we prayed and we were on our way back. That he told me that she didn't really want any women near her or pray for her. So he was like looking at me like, is she gonna accept me to pray for her or not? But I stayed. I could see that she was a little uncomfortable, but I stayed and I prayed and I talked to her. And he was talking to her mostly, and I was just listening, praying in tongues while he was talking to her. And then he actually came out. It came out that she was pregnant, and I was like, "Oh God, please help me!" And she was her boyfriend that she was living with at the time wanted her to get an abortion because they wouldn't be able to afford to have a baby. And I was talking to her and I was like, "This, I know that it's hard and I know he's pressuring you, but God has a plan with that baby." Just like he has a plan for your life. And I was talking to her and just like encouraging her. Yeah. And I gave her a testimony of like an abortion story that I heard. And she was looking at me and she had tears in her eyes, and it was just incredible. And I could see that there was breakthrough when I looked into her eyes. Like God really touched amazing. Her. And after we prayed over her, I took her aside to talk to her alone. And I was just asking her, like, what is your plans now? And she was like, well, I really, like, after we prayed for her, she was like, I really want to keep the baby. And I was like, well, this is a church because we went to a church to minister that night. And I was like, do you want me to talk to the pastor of the church and see if I can get you connected to the community? Because healthy community is very important. So I went over to one of the people that was like in charge. It wasn't the pastor, but I talked to her and she was like, yes, of course, take me to the girl. And she was like, I'll get her number. And when she went over with me to talk to the girl, she was like, you know what, this church actually just started women and children's ministry, especially to help women and children who is in this type of situation. And I was like, that is just incredible, like how God put together everything for this like girl. I was like, it felt especially like it was put together to help her, like to me. And yes, I was just, I actually started to cry at that very moment because I was like, this is just amazing. So the girl got connected, gave her a number, and it was amazing. So the girl actually hugged me and just gave me her number, and I am still in contact with her right now. And yes, that was amazing. And then I actually prayed for her because she was like, yes, the baby is going to be born like November 25th, I remember. And she was like, I'm going to let you know as soon as this baby is born because what he did really impacted me. And I was like, this is what God does. This is why I absolutely love missionary work. Like, to make a difference in one person's life is incredible. Like, if I had to go on that whole mission trip just to meet her, that's enough. It's like, it's amazing.
Wow, that's beautiful, the timing on that day. So, this mission trip, how long was it?
It was 10 days.
Did it also cost separate apart from the Bethel school? How did you plan to fundraise that?
So the mission trip, you choose your mission trip like 2 months after you start school there, or a month. I'm not sure on the exact time. Okay. So you get to choose which mission trips you go on. So they give you a whole list of different mission trips with the price. And then you get to put in your first 6 options in order. Like the mission trip you really want to go on the most, you put that first. So I prayed over the mission trip before I chose them. So I really felt like God wanted me to go to, because I went on Seattle Youth Revival trip. Yeah. So I knew that it was going to be specifically with the youth. So I really prayed over that because I really wanted to go there. And then my second option was actually going to the Dominican Republic. Why? I do not know. But then I prayed over it and I felt God wanted me to put the youth revival first. And this year, in second year, we actually do more than one missions trip. Wow. So it's required. Yeah. So, but yeah. I really do love the mission trips. I would go on as many as I actually can, but the finances is the tight spot for me. So, but I know God will provide for a new mission trip that I actually have to go on. But yes, for the first mission trip, you get deadlines. So like every third week, maybe there's a deadline that you have to meet. So they do divide it up to the point where you have to pay the full price. So you get to pay it separately. So yes, for the first mission trip, God actually provided amazingly. We only had to pay like the deposit, and I did post on my Facebook. I posted and asked for the people want to support. Here's a link. So they did give you a donation link. So I posted it on there, and I prayed because there was really nothing really on my end because I was sitting in America, not able to work. So I was like, God, it's only you. So yes, so I do post donation links on my Facebook account. So
we can even use those links to put on this video, so if the viewers want to go and follow up, they can just donate
yes.
if they want. What is the best way for them to contact you, or donate with your bank account, donate according to the link, or what will work the best?
So if they want to help me only on my tuition, there is a link.
Okay.
That you pay directly into the tuition fee, so it doesn't go through my bank account or anything else. It goes exactly just like that. The payment would go into my tuition fee. So that's for tuition. Otherwise, I do have an American bank account. If they would like to donate into that, I have a South African bank account. I do have PayPal. So that is other ways to help to donate.
So we just provide all the links for the payments in the video below, and
Yes.
the viewers can just click on the link below and follow that and donate your ministry.
Yes.
That's
yes.
amazing.
Wow, now wasn't that inspiring? If you would like to support to a ministry and like to invest into Amore, please follow the links below and use the information given in the description for her PayPal account of American bank details. Even the private bank details will be shared below. And just follow this information and please support into a ministry and help her. For we all know this is her calling. We can just hear from her testimony. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you are blessed and I hope this video was a blessing to you. Have a nice day.